let's get straight into how to fertilise your banana plants. And in my case, fertilise my Musa Basjoos. If you stick around to the end, guys, we've got one tip that will definitely divide opinions. It's definitely not going to be for everybody, but might be worth trying. During the growing season, Musa Basjoo are extremely heavy feeders, so you can't really feed them too much, and this is going to be all about the different sort of fertilisers I use and alternate them throughout the growing season. So first off, we'll start with, in the springtime, I like to fertilise, give them a heavy mulch with farmyard manure. So here we go, bucket of farmyard manure here. Alternatively, if you can't get hold of that, or you just don't choose to use that, you can use something like this here, 6X chicken manure pellets. 6X also do a natural fertiliser, 15 kilogram bag, Amazon, only a few pounds, maybe I think it's £10. That goes a long way of that, but beware, it does stink. So unless you don't like your neighbours, I'd put it down on a weekend or just before a good rainstorm, so you can just washes it in nicely, because it does stink. So that's the first thing I'd do. So the next thing I'd use is the chop and drop method, which is essentially chopping off any of the dead or tatty fronds. But I'll just show you what that is now. So let's find a leaf. I'll cut this to a leaf. So I like to use my hori knife, but you can use anything, old bread knife or something like that will do the job. So here we look, shred your leaves. This is just one leaf, just for example. It didn't really need to come off, but it was a bit tatty. And what we'll do with this, we'll just pick it up. You see, it's already got plenty of mulch around the bottom. I just throw any old dead and dying stuff, because like I say, you can't feed them too much during the growing season. They'll just take whatever you can throw at them. So I like to throw this around the base. You can also use your grass clippings. What I would suggest though, if you are using your grass clippings, don't use any if you've recently feed and weeded your garden. You don't want any of those chemicals to leach into the soil, kill your surrounding plants, and especially your beautiful Musa Basjoo. There we go, that's another little tip there. So that's your chop and drop method. Alright, let's move on to the next one. So next up, what we've got is, I like to save your banana peels from, if your family eats a lot of bananas like we do, just save them in a jar in some water like this. This is 3 banana peels in your jar. Ideally you'd cut them up a little bit more surface area, but I've just bunged three full banana skins in there, let it stew for a few days, 3-4 days, and then I'll put that into a watering can, top it up with water, and water the plants with it. I'll give them a nice potassium boost. The reason I don't often chop them up is because I don't know how much of a boost they get from that, so I don't waste my time. I just stick the banana peel straight in a jar. It doesn't take up any time then. Just do that, feed them, jobs are good. And let me know if you think it works, if you've tried it, had any results with it, but it's worth doing. It takes 2 minutes. Right, let's move on to the next tip. So something else I like to use periodically, mix it up a little bit, is used coffee grounds. So just save them up like this. These ones are actually from my sister's coffee machine, but you can get them from any of your local coffee shops. Just ask for them, they'll generally give them you. It's a byproduct of what they want, isn't it? So they'll often give it you. And what we do, I'll just throw some in here, like, just throw it in around the base of your plants. It'll add nitrogen to the soil, potassium, phosphorus. It'll just basically just improve your soil over the years, but don't layer it too much. Similarly, don't lay your grass clippings up too much either. You don't want to smother your soil, and it can be more detrimental than beneficial if you do throw too much on at once. But just scatter it around, water it in. There we go, another little tip you can use, and it doesn't really cost you anything. You aren't going to pay for anything there. So yeah, coffee grounds, great little addition to your soil. So next up then, I give a weekly supplement of liquid seaweed. This is one I use here, Envy seaweed. Just from Amazon. Give it a weekly dosage, just follow the instructions on the back, and this really does green them up. I mean, these not looking fantastic today. Not the best day for the video, but it's going to take a couple of weeks for these to grow this out. All the wind damage, and it's likely just happen again. But for instance here, if you look around here, there's a good sized pup here. This one's come up this year. That one there over winter. I think this one's going to come out because it's going to end up encroaching on the path too much, not going to give me any room. So there may be another video coming up on that one shortly. So yeah, liquid seaweed, can't recommend that stuff enough. Gives them a real boost. Definitely for any plants in the garden, liquid seaweed's pretty much the go-to stuff. Right, on to the final tip. So the last tip then, definitely not one for everyone. If you want a real nitrogen kick, like I said before, bananas, you know, you can't feed them too much, they'll just suck it all up. So if you want a real good nitrogen boost, they'll love it if you wee on them. Yeah, not for everybody, and personally I haven't done it myself, but I've heard good things if you wee on them. But I'm not so sure it's for you ladies out there. It's a bit easier if you're a bloke. But yeah, try it out if you want. So that's it. There's my tips. I wouldn't do them all at the same time, but just alternate them throughout the growing season. You should get some fantastic results. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.